Why does this move make sense for GoPro?
Well, look, the promise for GoPro has always been in the future, right? The present product, selling these little cameras on a stick, and the valuation that cameras on a stick has given the company are sort of out of whack with what their business has actually been. So it's always been, there's going to be something else. Yes, they make some really cool videos with these cameras, and they're fun to watch, they're fun to shoot. Camera on a stick, why not? But the valuation of the company has gotten so extreme. And initially, when they ran the IPO process, the promise was they would be a media company. It wouldn't just be a camera on a stick, but it would be a media company. But trading at 11 times book, with the estimated growth rate of just 28%, but a PE ratio of 70 times earnings, they got to have something else to offer here. So now the excitement, in part, is about what they can do by offering a camera on a drone and selling those things as well. Of course, they don't have that product in the marketplace, so the future can be anything you want to imagine it could be with GoPro and its shares right now.
Cory, I mean, this sounds something out of, an old playbook. I mean, if you go back to the beginning of television and radio, you had companies that made hardware and then decided they better figure out something to put on those televisions and broadcast on those radios. So this isn't all that new, but is there a playbook for GoPro to be successful?
Well, that's why everyone's watching us on Zenith Television right now. Actually, this is Bloomberg TV. It's not Zenith TV, and maybe that's the point. But there are interesting applications of this. At the Google I/O conference yesterday, I talked to one of the executives at Google who had a really neat sort of imaginary device of 16 GoPros mounted on like a cake tin or something, with software that would fire them all off at once. So if you could somehow make this all work and spend the $8,000 that 16 GoPros would cost, you would get this cool device. But for Google, they felt like it was a way for them to capture more information, put more information online for people to use. Check out what he had to say.
Google from the beginning has been about organizing the world's information and making it universally accessible and useful. And we really think of this as a very natural extension of that. Capturing the world's places, events, important moments in history, and organizing them in a way that anyone, anywhere can experience for all time. And we think there's something important and special in that.
So yeah, it was Clay Baver at Google, and their notion that there's a lot more information out there to be captured, there's new ways to capture it. Maybe that's what a GoPro drone would do. That doesn't make the stock more valuable yet, but if it was a big success, maybe it might someday. I don't know.
Of course, we're all speaking the hypothetical here. The thing about GoPro is that it's a hardware company that's trying to move into software and eventually wants to be a media company. I don't know that it's there yet, but investors are valuing this company at much higher than a typical hardware company.
Yeah, and to your point, whether I can tell you it's not there yet. Indeed, they don't even break out a media component as a segment when they report revenues, and if it was a significant part of revenues, probably 5%, they would have to report that. So we can safely assume that whatever revenues they get from media are less than 5% of total revenues. And of course, this is a very expensive stock, but a very cool product. I should mention, of course, also that there's a lot of competition coming their way from lots of makers of these devices, but these guys certainly have mind share, if not market share.
All right. Thank you for your mind share. Bloomberg editor-at-large, Cory Johnson.
And Pim, GoPro trades at 69 times reported earnings,
yes.
33 times estimated earnings.
Yes. You're comparing it to companies. These are just numbers at this
Dreams,
point. Right. Dreams in the skies with drones and virtual reality.
Dreams.